let's let's face it, right? Tradies love their utes.
Yes.
Right? You reckon?
Yep, we definitely
It doesn't matter. They love utes, right?
Of course.
I think every tradie's joy is to get a twin cab like this, a nice, beautiful twin cab.
Yeah.
All right. I've got my opinions on what suits me, and we'll sort of go through that. And so you've got 3 utes parked side by side, and we just go through the pluses and minuses, right? Okay. Now I'll start off with my favorite ute, right? My state of the art. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Brand new.
This is not the best looking ute, right? Compared to those, mine look like shit, right?
No, well, it's not like shit. It looks practical.
old.
It looks practical.
Yeah. So what we've got is a nice big bloody toolbox I can put all my stuff in, right?
Yeah.
It opens up, I can get the stuff, right? No, I'm a little short guy, right? So like that there is up to my limit.
Yeah.
Imagine me trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later, right?
Yeah, he's got
So
that.
I've got that. I think the king cab for me is a good option.
So what's a king cab? It's like a
king cab is like a stretch normal ute. It's got a little space in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an in between a normal ute and a twin cab.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's got no seats in it, but it's got the space,
Little
right?
space,
Half the
yeah.
space, right? And I can then throw my junk in the back.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is got a nice strong rack, right? And space that I can actually load stuff on, right? So that height, I can, without taking the trays out, I can go stuff in, stuff out, and it's for a short guy like me, right?
Yeah.
It's practical, right?
Yeah.
So this is my ute. I love this ute, right? So
It's a little bit weathered, you know. So it kind of reflects its owner, Jack. You know, a little bit older, but weathered, gets the job done.
like I'm a practical sort of guy, right? So it's for me it's practical, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, if you're going to upgrade to a different ute, obviously we're going to look at the practicalities of what you're upgrading to, all right? So let's have a look at your ute, Jeff. I'll tell you what I like and don't like about it,
Okay.
and then you can tell me what you like and don't like. I hate the height, right? Imagine a short guy like me, right?
Yeah.
I can't load from here, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really, like, it's going to kill me trying to load in from there. And besides, I pull that back, right?
Yeah.
I got loading space, but imagine me trying to load stuff in here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you can't put a lot of stuff in there, but
It is
that's
a hassle.
okay.
Very big hassle.
It's a big hassle, right? I think my rack is stronger than your rack.
Nah, definitely the weight. He can carry way more weight.
But I think of the 3 utes, right? This is pretty good with the rack configuration.
Yeah.
You've got a nice strong rack, and you've got that extended rack, rhino rack in top. You can put ladders on, so it's really nice and practical, right?
Yeah.
So for someone who doesn't really do a lot of hands-on work,
Yeah.
I think this is kind of ideal because you're obviously not going to load a lot of stuff on. You're going to have some tools. You're maybe going to load a little bit of stuff on every now and then, right? But you need your ladders, right? Main thing, because you can't get on the roof and quote the roof without the ladders, right?
Yeah, it's
And because you've done the sensible thing, rather than go and get a brand new ute, you've gone and shopped for a value ute, which is a second-hand ute, and it's got some stuff already done to it, which I think is the advantage of getting second-hand, because you have someone who's bought it new and they have some sort of idea on how they want to use it. So they put a lot of effort into fitting it out the way that they would be using it for. And you kind of, if you get it second-hand, you almost got all of that add on for free, I think.
Yeah, I like. This is definitely not a if I'm roofing every day, it's not a good ute for that.
right,
This is good ute if you're quoting and still doing and on the tools.
And you'll be helping the guys out every now and then, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So mine's got like room for my tools, and I can draw this bad boy out, my tools and everything out. It's still very workable. I can slide this back. and it's nice to drive. And I used to have one of these. Don't get me wrong. I worked my way up to this. I didn't go straight to the top. I worked my way up. I earned my ute.
So I mean, I must admit, it's not a bad ute.
No, it's good. It's like, so that, you know how this one's like a little bit older, a little bit of silver hair, a little silver in the hair. Do you know what I mean? Still got the elegant look about it. Looks good.
Not too bad.
It's really funny because in terms of practicality, I think the older guys, I'm the oldest guy, has got the most practical ute, right? You're in the middle, you've got the next practical ute. And now we're going to look at the young guy, right? The younger generation. And let's see how practical. It's a good looking ute, great looking ute, right? We'll look at how practical his ute is, all right? We're going to look at.
Give us your opinion on this one, Jack. This young man's ute.
Young man's ute.
Best one out of them all.
It's certainly the best looking one, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
Oh, come on.
And you've had guys who have stopped you on the street and say, listen, can you give me a ride on this? Because I love this, right? And it's my life dream to actually ride in one of these, right? It's happened to you, right?
That's happened to
It's a
me.
nice looking Ranger, right? Look at the wheels. It's like the wheels that would put on a farm tractor.
Yeah.
That big, right?
Yeah.
But what
Run
it
over
means
curves.
is that it's also four-wheel drive, right?
Yep.
It's now. How often would you go off four-wheeling on a roof job?
Never. Not much. A couple of gutter bumps, that's about it.
We're looking at height here, right?
Yeah.
When you go four-wheel drive, the height's bumped up, right?
Yeah.
This is two-wheel drive. It's like.
This is four-wheel drive.
Is it four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Well, it's a better four. It's a more
raised.
sensible. Yeah, it's a more
it's not been
sensible
raised.
four-wheel drive, right? So it's like I can just sort of go like that uncomfortably, right?
Yeah.
But on this one, it's like I'm trying to climb a ladder. It's like upstairs, right? And it's like
It comes with big wheels you can stand on, Jack.
even your height, right? You have problems trying to sort of load from here, right?
yeah.
It's impossible.
It's impractical as for if I'm on the job, which I am a lot of the time, taking material and picking up material and trying to fit shit in, rubbish, I can only get a little bit in. So it's not very,
And what happens? Your cab gets full of rubbish, right?
oh yeah.
Completely useless to anyone else.
Clean now, but it does fill up quite quickly.
And this is a fairly sturdy wreck. Tell me about your wreck.
It's all right for now.
Didn't fall apart.
Yeah, it had a couple of, had about 20 timbers on. It went over a speed hump and the two metal brackets in the side collapsed. So I've had to build a nice timber bracing in there so I keep it up.
Well, so the inside, it looks good, but it's like not.
It looks good. It's debatable on whether the weight was a factor to it, but it could have, all the driving. Yeah.
Where's the ladders, mate? How do you hover up to the roof or?
Yeah, normally. I just park the car to the back of the house.
My question is, how do you actually get the ladder? Because it'll be impossible for me to get a ladder up that sort of height, right?
I can just reach. You just reach. So if I go like this, I can just get it on. I go stand on my tippy toes.
Almost break your bloody back, right?
Lucky I'm strong. But yeah, no, definitely.
I think it suits.
Definitely gonna upgrade to a
It suits
tray.
Mason's personality. This guy.
I'm a colourful man.
Usually he's wearing red shoes. He's got white shoes today. He's playing it down.
What's your plan for this, mate?
My plan is to get a new tray,
Yep.
proper tray,
Just like mine, an aluminium tray.
an aluminium tray, a black one so it matches the car. Just
Still has to look good.
with ladder racks and all that. Keep the runner racks on the top and should be good. With one toolbox, I can fit some rubbish in.
So you will chuck away all this nice orange colour in the back. It'll be like an ugly aluminium colour, which painted black, right?
Painted black. Yep.
It'll still look good.
It will look good.
So the only orange you have is the twin cab, and you have a black.
Yeah, I might get the paintbrush out once the black tray.
Working there. So even though you've got a four-wheel drive, because it's the aluminium tray, it'll be about that height, I guess.
No, it'll probably still be the same height. Yeah, it'll probably be like here.
So you'll still struggle with the four-wheel drive and those fancy wheels to get the ladder up, right? But
Oh yeah, the ladder height won't change. I'll still have to get that high.
or you might get
unless I lower the car, but that's not happening. I'll get a step.
You're willing to sacrifice like a little bit, just for the look, to look good.
Oh, of course. It's all about the look.
Yeah, for the young guys or the look, for the old guys, you know, I don't give a.
I rock up to a job or a quote. They like my car.
Are they going to give it a job?
Yeah, of course. Because I make money.
I got plenty of jobs in my youth too, you know.
You get way more. You get way more jobs than I do, Jack.
Then actually, the people feel sorry for me. They said, you know, like, are you a boss or something? I said, yes, kind of a boss. I said, the other guy came up. He's an apprentice. He's driving a car like that. How come you're driving a like that? I said, grey hair, not much hair. I'm like, you know, older and wiser, you know.
Yeah, older and wiser. I'd say part of the reason I upgraded as well is because my apprentices all had better cars than me. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was the first one to get it, so I topped it, and everyone followed.
But my advice for most young guys who
It's just starting out.
Starting out, right?
Leave
That
these
is
alone.
that
Do not go near it.
do not go near any of these, right?
Unless you got money to put a tray on it straight away with proper ladder racks and everything, then yep, go for it. But I would stick to a single cab.
That's right. Once you work your way up and you're doing less on the job, then this becomes a bit more practical.
You're spending more time, at that point you're spending more time driving around than you are actually on a roof, and therefore the benefit of having a nicer drive outweighs it a little bit more, but the practicality.
Auto transmission.
Yeah, both autos. It's a lot cruisier than driving a manual. It's easy.
Yeah, because I've got a lot of feedback from lazy roofers who says, mate, I hate manuals because I got to start. And I said, I'm on a manual, and they look at me and they think I'm an archaic, was it?
Well, I'm manual as well. I used to be manual, and I still, when I drive this, have my hand on the.
All right, so that's the hatch on you.
Yes.
There's goods and bads. There's no one size fits all. You know, whatever you are, what you're looking for, right?
And a lot of time, you're not going to be able to change a person's look on a car that they want. And even if you tell them that it's not practical, they're still going to want to get it.
Yeah, my advice would be don't rush into this. Like, have one of these as like your little reward once you're doing very well down the line, because it is practically wise. If I'm just roofing doing quotes, the lower cab, the lower trailer, everything is much easier and practical. You're probably better off having, say, what Jack's got and then a nice car at home, to be honest.